Hey, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name's Olivia and I'm a gender affirming voice teacher. And in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about breath and vocal weight. I bet you didn't think that I was going to come on here and try and tell you how to breathe, because I know you know how to breathe, but I'm going to tell you how to breathe. So even though breathing is involuntary, we can pick up some habits around breathing that are just simply not helpful for voice work. So if you're working on vocal feminization and working on a lighter vocal weight, this video is for you. I'm going to talk about how to breathe to best support a light vocal weight. So let's get started. So oftentimes without thinking about it, we hold our breath before we start speaking. We breathe in, hold our breath, and then start speaking. So this can be because maybe you're pausing to think about something before you say it, or maybe you're just feeling tense and anxious, or maybe just the way you breathe has become a habit for you. So what I'm talking about specifically is like when you hold your breath in your throat, when you're closing things off in your throat. So we have the vocal cords in here, okay? These couple of bands of tissue that come together, they vibrate to create the buzzing sound that we hear as our voice. So these little babies in here, when we clench and close off in the throat in order to hold the breath, our vocal cords kind of get pushed together real hard, okay? They're slammed together so that when we do start speaking, those vocal cords pop open. And when we start phonating or making a sound or starting that vibration from this position, it can lead to a heavy vocal weight. So what I'm talking about here, this initiation of the sound, is called a vocal onset. So a vocal onset is basically the position that your vocal cords are in when you start making sounds. So this is called a glottal onset because that space in between the vocal cords is called the glottis. So when we're kind of pushed together and they pop open and we start, that's called a glottal onset and can lead to heavier vocal weight. So let's breathe in and out, and I want you to notice if you feel like you're holding your breath at the top of that cycle. So breathe in and out and see if you feel any tension in your throat. You might not now if you're thinking about it, and you might not, this might not be a habit for you, but let's try to squeeze that in the throat. Breathe in, squeeze that in the throat, and then breathe out. So we'll breathe in and out through the nose. Okay. So you might feel a feeling like you're just picking up something heavy, like that kind of feeling where the vocal cords are pressing together. So when you speak and do that, it might sound something like this. Breathe in. I'll be there. I'll be there. That kind of like harsh sound happens when you start in that position. So in order to work on kind of a lighter weight as it relates to this breath piece, we want to stay open in the throat. So we're gonna practice holding our breath using different muscles besides these throat muscles. We're gonna use the intercostal muscles in our rib cage and the abdominal muscles to keep your breath in your body and not let it expel. So first, I just want you to breathe in and out through your nose without stopping. No stopping of the breath. I like to think about a circle or a cycle of air. So let's try that. Just in, right out, right out. In and right out. Perfect. So now I want you to put your hand on your rib cage or on your belly, and I want you to see if you feel an expansion in your rib cage coming out or an expansion in your belly kind of moving forward. So as you're doing this, I want you to roll your shoulders back and sit really tall and think about your posture. Okay, so let's breathe in. Just noticing that movement of the belly and the rib cage. Great. So we noticed that expansion as we were breathing in. So now let's notice a contraction in the abdominal muscles as we breathe out. So hands on your abdominal muscles, and let's breathe in and out again, but just focus on that breath out and feeling a contraction in your belly. Again, here I want you to really focus on that tall posture so that when you breathe out, you're not bending over like this. In, we want breathe in and out, staying tall. So let's try that. In and out. In and out. Feeling that contraction in the belly. Now, finally, what we're gonna do is we're gonna breathe in and hold our breath. Wait, Olivia, I thought you said we weren't supposed to hold our breath. We're going to hold our breath in a different way to work on noticing these muscles. I'm gonna show you how you can breathe in and use different muscles, the muscles in your rib cage and your stomach, to hold that breath in, okay? So hands on your rib cage. We're gonna keep the throat open. So we're gonna breathe in again and out through your nose. This is gonna help you stay open. If it helps to open your mouth too, that could be helpful. You can imagine that you know, the throat is open, everything's open, but we're just gonna breathe in and hold for 3 seconds using just those muscles. So staying expanded in the rib cage and in the stomach muscles rather than squeezing at the throat, okay? So we're just gonna breathe in, stay expanded for 1, 2, 3, stay tall and let the air out. Let's do that again. Breathe in, stay expanded. 1, 2, 3, and breathe out. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in, stay expanded for 1, 2, 3, and breathe out. So then you can try to say some phrases with this kind of open throat idea. So you don't necessarily have to hold your breath in that position like we did, but we can breathe in and right out, but just know that you can keep this open. You don't have to close it before you start making sounds. So if you breathe in and say, I'll have a coffee, you can just try that right out. So just in, I'll have a coffee, rather than in, I'll have a coffee. You have less of that tension, less of that heavy vocal weight sound, and less of that kind of harsh attack. So I hope this was helpful in kind of working on your breath and tension awareness as well as your vocal weight. I'd love to hear from you if you've got some tips to share or if you have any questions about any of this. If you're interested in taking a lesson, there is a link down in the description. I'm also running group classes and pretty soon a self-study e-course, so make sure you look out for that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next video.